What is up, members of my collector corps? It is I, Super Mariozilla, or you can call me Vinny, and today we will be taking a look at the S.H.MonsterArts Godzilla 2024 Evolved version. This figure was revealed a month or two after the film released in theaters, and fans were genuinely excited. The prototype looked fantastic, everything we could hope for in a MonsterArts release. Good looking sculpt, good articulation, and all that. But the price is not nice. $130 and no accessories either besides alternate hands. Are you kidding me? So that stinks, but what stinks even more is that when the final product was shown to the public, fans were not happy that the figure ended up being less than stellar. Overspray on the mouth, the teeth looked like dentures, the eyes once again are not consistent among figures, the paint was vastly different and looked worse than the prototype showcased. Jesus Christ, the issues keep piling on. And I haven't even started the review yet. Bandai, what on earth are you doing to the Monsterverse figures? This is not the best you can do. I mean, come on. Objectively, how is this figure? Is it still up to snuff regardless? Well, let's see if this figure is worthy of a spot on your Monsterverse shelf. Alright, first off with the compliments, the sculpt is excellent. It's not one-to-one with the CGI model, but the sculpt still looks stellar here. I mean it, it's the best part of the figure. Sculpt looks fantastic. All the intricate details we've seen on the prototype have made it here and it looks so good. Well done. The paint is a different story. Not all of it looks bad actually, it doesn't even look bad at all, it just isn't what it could have been. The mouth has obvious overspray, there's pink all over the lip where it should only be on the teeth. The bottom row of the teeth got really screwed in the molding and casting process. It looks like crap here. The eyes on mine thankfully are symmetrical, but that doesn't mean all the figures are like that. The top of the head has these pink streaks that vary in visibility from figure to figure. Why are these figures so inconsistent? The dry brushing on the green isn't everywhere on the figure. On closer examination, the green didn't make it to the front of the neck. That's not right at all. Why didn't the dry brush job make it there? What looked good on the prototype does not look appealing here. Now granted, there are some spots where the paint does look good, like on the body. I think it looks pretty alright here. But why doesn't the rest of the figure look like this? But one thing I can truly compliment here, the dorsal plates. They were incorrectly stated not to be translucent, but as you can see, they are indeed translucent. So whoever said that was full of it. They look great here. Sculpt is beautiful. The shade of pink they used for the plates looks amazing. There's even a gradient effect where the base of the plates looks like a darker pink. The dry brushing transition from skin to plate could have looked a bit better, but overall still solid. The tail is not the longest but still has a good amount of length. The tip of the tail is extra spiky, just like how it was on the CGI model. Overall, Godzilla has more so devolved from the prototype rather than maintain the evolution. Not cool, Bandai. Yes, the figure looks fine, but fine is not enough for $130. Honestly, you had something good going here, and you completely botched it. Godzilla's articulation and engineering is a little bit questionable. Some things I like, some things I don't like. Let's go over what he's got. Jaws on a hinge. Can open just about this wide. So that is okay. Head can look down a pretty good amount, can look left and right with no issue. Can also twist. So yeah, that's no problem. Looking, oops, sorry about that. Looking up, impossible. Impossible. You need to twist you need to finagle with the tail and the torso a little bit to actually make him look up. But even then, he doesn't look up all the way. So we can't really recreate the pose of him roaring in the sky. That's nice. Thanks, Bandai. Arms are on ball joints. Shoulders are on ball joints. Biceps can swivel.
They're also on ball joints, I believe. Elbows are on ball joints, both points. Oops, and that popped off. Anyway, elbows are on ball joints on both ends, connected to the bicep and connected to the forearm, but you only get like a 90-degree bend, so it's not a lot. Hands are on ball joints, so no issues with that. Legs are on ball joints. He can kick this far forward and kick basically none back. Yeah, he can't really go back at all on the legs. Both sides of the knee are on ball joints, so he has a pretty nice bend. They can pretty much go all the way, which is nice. And ankles are on ball joints. Can kick this far back, can go this far forward, and ankle rocker is decent. Anyway, torso articulation, he can crunch forward just about this, there we go, about this far forward, which is really good. Of course, he's able to rotate and twist and lean. And all the way back. He can go all the way back, except there is a very awkward gap right here when you do that. Also, the legs have these sleeves to prevent gapping, but sometimes it can be a little bit wonky and discombobulated, so you need to reset it. But still, I cannot stand this gap right here. It looks so ugly. It looks so bad and so distracting. You need to constantly have him a little bit crunched forward on the top in order to keep that gap closed, and that is just not right. Again, thanks Bandai. Tail is on many series of ball joints, except this is the best Monsterverse tail, hands down. Best Monsterverse tail. The curving is perfect. It is so smooth, and it does not pop off the base. It does not pop off anywhere. It is perfect. This is a perfect Monsterverse tail. It's a perfect tail in general. It has great amount of flexibility. Curve upward, downward. Well, that popped off. That's because I overextended. But other than that, the tail does not fall apart. It is perfect. So praise where it's due. This tail is fantastic. Great Monsterverse tail. So overall, articulation, I love the legs and I love the tail. I think they pose pretty nicely, except for the legs not being able to go back. I feel like that can be fixed, but going forward and side to side, yeah, that's, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Going forward and side to side, yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that. So you have nothing to worry about with that. And the tail, again, perfect. Arms, torso, and the head. Oh, okay, arms at the elbows, the head going up, and the torso preventing the gap could have been done much better. So, yeah. Although the torso has nice articulation in itself, I can't stand the gap when you have him looking up like this. It just doesn't look right. So that's just really off. And again, head not being able to look up at all when your other Monsterverse Godzillas can look up with no problem, all the way up with no problem. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. I will not stand for that. So articulation, good in some areas. Other areas, Now in terms of accessories, you see that Godzilla has his default hands right here, the calm, relaxed hands. Well, he also comes with splayed out open hands, just like the other recent Monsterverse Godzilla figures, so that is always a welcome addition. I do enjoy these. It is really nice. So yeah, I approve. And the hands are much easier to interchange. It is awesome it is awesome how easy they are able to interchange. Like, perfect. No hassle. Now, granted, that could be on my copy. Yours may not be so easy, so do keep that in mind. If you have a hard time, make sure to use heat. But other than that, they interchange pretty easily on mine. So, yeah. I approve. Although there's one thing I don't approve of, there's no beam. His spines are already transparent. His spines are already translucent. So, where's the beam? The pink beam. We really could not have gotten one? Especially when this is $140 or $130? No beam? Are you serious? I know for a fact they're probably planning a beam effect. Comes with a beam version of Godzilla Evolved, but still. It's just feels off to me.
Here's a size comparison with other figures you may or may not own. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Godzilla supposed to be a bit bigger and not be around the same size as its default counterpart? I swear he's supposed to be bigger. But again, I could be wrong, so I'll just say sizing is okay. Nothing great, but nothing awful. I just feel like he's supposed to be a bit taller. Not by a lot, but by a bit. Fearsome Godzilla has not evolved here. It's par for the course of MonsterArts, which is something I should not be saying. This should be par for the course, not this. This is a sad excuse of a Godzilla Evolved figure. All this figure has done was make me wish I had the higher toys version instead. Articulation is limited in places where there should be no limits. And the look of the figure looks nothing like the prototype, and even then, it doesn't look good. Not awful, but not great either. It should have been so much more. If this was $80 instead of $130, most of these problems would have been forgivable, 100%. And don't tell me to look at this figure for what it is. So basically you're telling me I should look at this figure as a mediocre mess. Because that's what it sure sounds like. Get this figure for sale. Not worth the sky-high price. Just leave it on the shelf, wait for the price to go down. If this is what we're getting, I have no hopes for Scar King and Shimo. This figure is the evolution of the almighty epic fail! 3.5 out of 10. Screw this figure and screw the MonsterArts Godzilla X Kong figures. If you know what's good for your wallet, don't buy this or any of the future GXK MonsterArts figures. They're proving time and time again that they don't give two shits about these figures and about what we think. If they did care what we think, why does Scar King still look the way he does from the prototype to the final product? Yeah, I didn't think so.